In under 2 years, today's guest built a GoHighLevel SaaS from zero to over $200,000 a month in recurring revenue by selling low-ticket systems to contractors at scale.
We sell GoHighLevel SaaS to contractors. The main core offer is $297 a month, and we have about 900 clients or so, almost $300K a month.
Meet Kai Stone, founder of Stone Systems, one of the fastest growing businesses in the GoHighLevel space.
Our cost per acquisition right now, it's actually insane. This is with sales commission. This is with everything included. It's $355.
In today's episode, we unpack how Kai went from broke, living at home, to building a $200,000 a month SaaS in under 2 years.
I lost the majority of my friends. No partying, no drinking, just in my mom's house for about a year straight.
$297 a month entry offer that unlocked volume, retention, and predictable recurring revenue.
If we can just get a bunch of people in on a low ticket price and just give them something valuable, we can do the exact same shit as all these other guys are doing, but we'll just do it 1 month later.
How he uses raw, polarizing ads and sales processes to acquire customers profitably at scale.
Nobody was able to run profitable ads for a $297 offer.
And why text beats email for small business, and how automation, speed, and simplicity are driving his retention.
I knew that I could get contractors more business, or any small business more revenue, by making sure just switching from email to text messaging.
So if you want to understand how to build a low-ticket, high-volume GoHighLevel SaaS without hype, fake gurus, or bloated teams, this is the episode for you. Kai, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad we got it scheduled.
Well, I've been watching quite a lot of your stuff recently. But for anyone that doesn't know you yet, can you explain what you do just in a couple of sentences?
Yeah, absolutely. So been doing it for about 2.5 years. We sell GoHighLevel SaaS to contractors. The main core offer is $297 a month, and we have about 900 clients or so. So just about almost $300K a month. And yeah, dude, that's pretty much it, man. Just low ticket to the moon.
For sure. And what is your kind of background? Like, how did you get here?
Dude, I literally just graduated college, just broke as shit living with my mom. And I was just like, dude, I need to figure out something, like that was it. Like nothing, no tech background or anything like that. Went to college for like 5 years, didn't learn a fucking thing. Learned how to drink and talk to chicks. That's about it. Pretty much useless skills. And yeah, dude, I just needed money. That was like the main thing.
Yep.
I kind of realized to have freedom in life, which is what I wanted. Money was kind of like the tool to get it, if that makes sense.
Okay. And did you have kind of other businesses before this? Did you go through kind of courses or anyone's content? What was the kind of getting up to speed story like?
Funny enough, you can call it a business. I played World of Warcraft, like semi-pro, and I would basically boost people on there for money. And then I started to get other people to boost other people for me, and then I would take the money. So like that was like, it was I got banned like pretty much like, after like a year or so. But that shit was fun. But that, I don't know if you really call that it's kind of a business, I guess. That was pretty much the only thing I did.
I think there's a lot of people that started out either gaming or doing some kind of online scheme, I guess I'll call it, because I don't think it's quite a business, right?
Yeah, gaming, there's a weird translation. I mean, Alex Becker is one of them. There's so many guys who transition from gaming to business, and I don't know why, but my guess would be, at least at this point, now the business is like successful or doing well. Now it's kind of like a video game. At the beginning, it kind of is, but at the beginning, you're really stressed because you just don't really have the skills. And then once stuff, kind of gets going, now it's just like, cool, I'll push a button and I spend money on ads. This happens. It literally is like you're building your own little city, but it's just your own business, Yeah.
How long did it take you to, from when you kind of started out with the GoHighLevel stuff to get to where you are today?
Yeah. So a little over two years,
Okay.
which is like, we did it really fast. But again, like a lot of guys have like this ADHD thing as well. Like when I get hyper focused on something, it's like once I figured it out, not even figured it out, once I saw GoHighLevel for the first time, and I just realized like I can make a real business out of this thing and like be able to like actually make life-changing money. I was just locked in, dude, like 10, 12 hours a day. And then even if I wasn't working, I was still watching videos. I was watching Alex Ramosi. I was soaking everything up like a sponge. And for beginners out there, anyone, like not everyone's as fortunate as me to have that situation where you can actually lock in for 10, 12 hours a day. But again, like if I built a $300,000 a month business in 2.5 years or something, like even if it takes you 5 years and you can get something to 20, 30, 40, 50K, that's still life-changing money, right? So that's not a reason not to start. It's just, it does take a lot of effort at the very beginning to kind of get things rolling, if that makes sense.
For sure. In terms of the niche, you mentioned kind of contractors. Can I ask why you picked that? And was that a process of kind of trial and error with a few other spaces?
No, I knew it just had to be contractors, man. Just the way that I speak and the way that I am on camera and the way that I act and the way that we run our company. Like there's no way I could say the shit that I say and it would work for any other niche. That's just that I just knew that was like my style. And my best friend at the time, he had a contracting business as well. He had like his own modeling company. So that's the other thing is like, it could have been any niche, I guess, but it's like, if you have a mom that's a dentist or you have a dad that's a doctor or whatever, like you should use whatever like automatic knowledge you have in the world to choose your niche because every niche works. And I just had this friend and I was just like, I can see how the back end of his business runs. And that gave me not an unfair advantage, but it just gave me a little foot in the door to like how contractors run their business on the back end. Right. Cause I didn't know I can barely change a tire, bro. Like I'm not a contractor, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
And in terms of the kind of go high level angle, so I'd never really kind of heard much about it till I guess kind of 6-9 months ago. And then I feel like I've seen, content everywhere, ads, all this kind of stuff talking about this as an opportunity. How did you get introduced to it? And why did you decide to focus on the platform?
Yeah. I just had a buddy from college and he was like one of those kids who was just like every week he had a different business idea. And like I said, after I graduated, I was in a dark spot, dude. I was really addicted to fucking drinking and pain pills and all this shit. And I was just like, one day I woke up, I saw some dumb TikTok and I was like, what would happen if you fucking spent a year of your life trying to like on one thing? I was like, fuck it, whatever. I'll start a business. And I knew I was going to start some kind of an online business. But anyway, I called this kid up because I knew no matter what, this kid always had a business idea. He was always working on something. And I was like, hey, Ian, like, I need something, dude. Like, I'm down bad. Like, I want to start a business, XYZ. Like, tell me what you're working on right now. And he just sent me the link to GoHighLevel and I just looked at the back end of it. And almost right away, because there's just so many things in there. And I was just like, I don't know how I'm going to make this work. But if I can resell this and package this together to help a small business, like I know I can sell this over and over and over again because I know that no contractor or any small business in general, for the most part, are going to have the time to come in here and learn all this shit. Right. And it's either they pay me $300 a month or they pay GoHighLevel. Like the pricing is the same. It's just why would they not pay me when I can set up the whole thing for them? Right.
Yeah.
So right away, like maybe I got lucky, but right away it was like, this is the golden egg. Like I knew I was going to make it work somehow. But I didn't know how. Again, I saw the software and I was just like, this is it,
Okay. You said something quite interesting there about kind of the journey in college and after college. Do you view business in general as kind of a personal development tool?
I think it's probably the
way
best
to kind of fix your life.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's the best personal development tool there is because it just teaches you, I mean, men in general should have self-accountability, but it really is just ultimate self-accountability. Like if it's not working, it's not anyone's fault. It's your fault. Like there are so many different people who have made business work. If you can't make it work, there is literally nobody you can blame but yourself. And also understanding that there's always someone who started farther behind than you are starting right now and has done it better than you. Like there's always someone who has done it better and faster than you. So you have to understand and take that in and be like, dude, I know it's possible. I see examples everywhere. Like, what am I missing? Right? If you can't get it to work, it is your fault. It's because you suck. And everyone sucks at the beginning. But yeah, man, it's a brutal like it's also brutal because even at the level we're at now, I just know there's still so much to learn. There's so many people that are so much farther ahead. And you just, you always kind of have to feel like a baby, if that makes sense, and always put yourself in the right rooms.
Okay. Can you just talk to your kind of initial period where you've come across a business idea, you're launching it, you're probably still kind of stuck, one foot in the other lifestyle. How do you kind of fully get out of that and start to have success in the business world?
You have to get a client. Genuinely, just get a stranger on the internet to pay you money. One person, that's it. You have to. Everything changed after it took us like 10 days to get one client. By the way, free trial, $97 a month. Like, right? Like that's nothing. But it doesn't matter because
very quick though, right?
What was that?
It's very quick though, 10 days.
Very quick. Yeah. 10 days from idea. That's we'll go into that in a sec, but like 10 days from holy shit, this is what we're going to do to getting a client, very quick, but that's just taking action. I genuinely believe, and I tell all my, like everyone in my community this as well, like, dude, turn off your brain, go get a stranger on the internet to pay you money for anything, whatever you want your service to be, even if it's a free trial, and just go through the experience of a stranger handing you their credit card and paying you something and then expecting a service, because you have to just know that it's possible. Once I got that first dollar in my bank account, dude, I was like jizzing my pants. I was like, this is fucking crazy. I've never made money like online before in my entire life. I just got a stranger on the internet to pay me money. And now I have to go figure out how to deliver. And it's like, literally, like, I can't stress that enough. Just go get a stranger on the internet to pay you money one time and go through the process before you even do anything else. Just try it once. Even if you fail and you fuck up, just refund them. Worst case scenario.
So that kind of breaks limiting beliefs and kind of opens your mind up to what's possible is what you're saying, right?
Yes, 100%. And that, like, if beginners are anything like me, when I think a lot of people have the same limiting beliefs that you kind of briefly touched on, which is like, there's so many unanswered questions, and across the board, every successful person I've seen has the ability to laser focus on action and then not overthinking everything else. Because if you overthink, that's why the smartest people, in my opinion, unless you're Elon Musk, are honestly not very good at business, because they see the whole board and they're like, this could go wrong. This could go, like, so many things could go wrong. My retard ass is just like, I need to get a stranger to give me money. Okay, gonna go do that. That's it. That's how I think, right? And just continuously taking action is so. I know that's like generic advice, but bro, there's a reason it's generic advice, because it's fucking true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So turn the brain off and put one foot in front of the other.
Blindly. Like, you have to just go do stuff. Like, I know it sounds kind of dumb, but like, I'm just like, just go take mindless action. The same way like my YouTube channel is doing well now. Just because 2 years ago, one of my mentors was just like, dude, just start posting videos and start documenting your progress. Dude, my first YouTube video was so bad. I look back at it now, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. But like, just continuously doing actions and actions and actions. Right. Now my videos are like significantly better. I didn't do anything else besides just continuously doing reps, right? That's it. It's just reps, and you have to be willing to suck and look stupid. If you're willing to suck and look stupid continuously, bro, like you're going to be good at business, because that's all it is. Now, I'm sure you know that as well. Yeah.
Well, there are other kind of parts of your life that you changed as well when kind of picking yourself up and getting out of the rut.
Yeah. I mean, I lost the majority of my friends. No drinking, no going out. I didn't even, and this is nothing against them, or I still love all of them to death. It's just when you're trying to change your life and do something as hard as create a business, and it is very, very hard. You have to kind of isolate yourself and put yourself in the environment of the people that you want to be like. So for instance, for that, first year period, I didn't have friends anymore. My friends were Alex Ramosi, Chris Williamson, all the podcasters that I looked up to. Like, those were like, that's the only people that I hung out with. Right. Yeah. So yeah, no partying, no drinking, just in my mom's fucking, house for about a year straight. And yeah, a complete, like, if you would talk to any of my friends in college, they would never believe that this is what I'm doing now. Yeah. Like, it's just, I was just drinking every day, doing pills, just dumb shit, classic party boy shit.
Yeah.
And dude, that stuff's still really fun, but you can't do that and build a business, at least for the first year or two. You have to lock in 100%. And I've never talked to a successful person who hasn't had that same exact experience, honestly. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you can probably relate to that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk about something you raised there about almost kind of, the pain forcing you to level up. I also think there's this element of business where you're constantly living in the future of, you hit a revenue goal, you kind of instantly reset and go again. Do you think those are kind of issues long term? Or do you think it's just kind of necessary for business?
It's necessary because it keeps you driving forward. But that's one thing I had very early on. And there's even a video I have on my YouTube when I'm like, I hit 20K a month. And like, I even said in the video, I'm like, I know I'll hit 100 and the goalposts are going to move. I know I'll hit 200 and the goalposts will move. Money to me, not that I don't care about it. I don't really, but I just know that money is the tool to get freedom, and not having somebody else tell me what I need to do, and then having freedom to be able to do whatever I want, whenever I want. That is the most important thing for me. And money just happens to be the tool to get there, right? If it was something else besides money, I would figure out how to get that tool as well. It's just, in the world we live in, money happens to be that tool. I think there's a lot of super successful guys who they kind of feel like life hasn't started yet until they hit this number or this number or this number. And then they hit it and you don't feel anything. Once you hit it, you really don't. And I heard people say this when I was struggling, and I was like, yeah, they're so full of shit. It must be nice sitting there with your fucking hot tub and your pool and all this shit. So, they have to go experience it for themselves. And there's some things that you can't tell people. They just have to go experience it for themselves. And, making money is kind of one of those things, and continuously hitting goals is one of those things. And yeah, but it is an issue, man. But I mean, it's also a video game, and it's just always fun to see the next goalpost and keep going towards it. As long as you don't let it, like you said earlier, as long as you don't let it be like, you don't live your life until you hit this goal kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Okay. Going back to the GoHighLevel piece, when you kind of first saw the platform, what features were you looking at where you're thinking like, this is amazing, like I can resell this and package it up?
The main thing was websites, only because I didn't know shit about online. I didn't know anything about anything, right? I didn't know anything. And I just knew that small businesses had websites. People knew what websites were, and I could create websites super quick with GoHighLevel. and then sell those. So I just knew that like at the very least there was a product market fit. At the very minimum, I could sell this to somebody, right? Because everyone knew what a website was. I also saw the features they have on there, and the fact that like whenever I want to schedule a haircut or any kind of like health appointment, I go on these people's websites, and I remember even back then, I'm like, dude, like it's so hard to get in contact with these people. I like submit a quote form or something, and I just don't get called back for weeks. So when I saw GoHighLevel's feature of text marketing, so as soon as somebody submits something through a website, it can go straight to the cell phone. I knew that I could get contractors more business, or any small business more revenue by making sure just switching from email to text messaging. And that was the biggest thing for me, because I was like, holy shit, like just as like a user, right? When I schedule an appointment, I don't want to go back and forth via email. I want a phone call, or I want to text people on my phone. So just seeing that, I was like, dude, this is going to be a game changer for small businesses. And I know they don't know how to set this shit up by themselves. So that was like the second thing was websites. And then the texting was huge.
Okay. And is there anything that's come out on the platform since that has been kind of revolutionary or that you've been wowed by?
Yeah, I think voice AI and conversation bot AI are going to be huge. I mean, just think about like a dentist office or a med spa or anything where like is not like if I'm calling a dentist office, they don't need to sell me on the fact that I need to go to the dentist. Like I'm already like, all right, I'm already calling to schedule. I just want it to be easy. I just want to book. So booking and payment processing using AI, voice and conversation, I think is like if I had to restart right now, that's what I would do, because it's just so powerful. I would do med spas, barbershops, dentists, and just show them, hey, look at this AI. It can take payments and it can schedule for you. Congratulations, you just saved $4,000 a month on a receptionist. Pay me $497 and I'll set this up for you. That's it, literally.
Wow. Okay.
It's huge.
And then in terms of your kind of scaling, obviously you've done this super quick. I know a few people that are kind of running similar businesses, but they are nowhere near your kind of level. What do you think the main reason is for that rapid MRR growth?
Our ads perform. Nobody that I know of, and this is why everyone told me this wouldn't work, nobody was able to run profitable ads for a $297 offer. Almost nobody. That's what I was told multiple times. And the reason for that, I mean, again, everyone figures out their own way, but the way that I run ads is, I think, different. Like I say the craziest shit on my ads, like funny stuff. Like our top performing ad right now is literally me looking at the camera like this, being like, hey, contractors, this is an ad from a douchebag in a hat, but I promise it's worth your time. Right? Like literally. Or like one of them's like, hey, contractors, this is a douchey ad from a frat boy, but I promise it's worth your time. Right? Contractors just like the way that they think is like, they just would laugh at that shit and then they'll actually listen to what you're saying. So the main thing that I can say is just no matter what you do, I think being polarizing. And like we have some guys who message us and say like, we'll never work with you because your boss is so unprofessional. The way he speaks is so disrespectful, XYZ. I'm like, fuck it then, dude. Don't work with us. But there's overall, it's a positive, right? Because then you polarize these people who are like, wow, this guy is fucking, I can't believe he's saying this. Like he's meant to be a professional CEO. And then it just makes client acquisition very easy. That's the client acquisition piece. And then, this is going to sound so generic, but making sure you have you hire really good customer success people to handle a high volume of clients. That's huge at scale. And I always hate it when people are like, it's all about like when I would hear advice and people are like, it's all about who you hire, man. It's like, dude, when you're broke as shit under $5,000 a month, it doesn't matter who you hire. It's just going to be you for a long time anyway, man. That's not good advice for a beginner. But at scale, it's 100% true.
Yeah. Can we move on to talking about kind of offer structure and kind of pricing now?
Yeah.
And my kind of first question here is, you're starting, low ticket, right? I feel like everyone in the agency space is saying, 4 figures minimum, try and go as high as possible. Why did you pick that kind of entry point?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, I don't know what beginners are thinking, or if you're trying to start a business and you don't have any business experience, I can't fathom getting on the internet and thinking you're good enough to charge someone $3,000 a month when you don't know shit, like genuinely. Like, so that was the first thing, is I was just like, I know I need to go through the process, and it's going to be a lot easier to get through that process and get a rep in. Like, it's like the first time going to the gym. Like, you're not going to load it up with 405. You're going to load it up with like just the bar. Right. And just rep it out. You're never even going to be able to just rep out 405, just trying to do 405. Right. So I wanted to just go through the process. And then I always knew that we could just do exactly what all these agencies are doing on the back end. Agencies charge, $1,500 to $4,000 a month. And I was just thinking, well, if we can just get a bunch of people in on a low ticket price and just give them something valuable, we can do the exact same shit as all these other guys are doing, but we'll just do it 1 month later. Except the only difference is now we're like quadrupling the volume of people we get on the front end, and then we can handpick who we want to upsell later on. So I just took exactly what the agencies are already doing and just reversed it, right? Cause like we can do all the, now we do it, right? We do all the same shit as them. It's just like social media marketing agencies sign 10, 20 clients a month. We can sign 200. And then out of those 200 clients, we can upsell, 70 of them. So like it's the best of both worlds. And I knew I needed to get good because I sucked. So that's the main reasoning behind it. And also I just had no idea what I was doing, genuinely. I still don't, to be honest with you. I'm still just winging it.
I want to talk about this kind of rawness and honesty a bit kind of later on, but in terms of this offer for 297, what is included in terms of the kind of services, and why have you picked those things to include?
Yeah, I mean, I just picked the things that would be the most obvious for a contractor to help them grow their business. We try to do something called the buzzing phone effect, which is basically like if you can get your client's phone to buzz with your system as much as possible, they'll stay with you, right? Because then they get addicted to it. It's like a dopaminergic reaction. So every time they get a Google review, which we help them get, their phone lights up. Every time they get a new lead from their website, their phone lights up. Every single time a conversation is started on their website chat or anything on their website, their phone lights up. Anytime they get a booking on their calendar or a payment process, their phone lights up. So we're just trying to get that phone to buzz as many times as possible because we want them to be sticky and we want to create long-term recurring revenue. So it's, for the most part, it's the foot in the door with the website. Hey, like we'll help you get more leads through your website because most people's websites suck. We'll deal with all your missed phone calls for you as well because contractors miss phone calls all the time. One missed phone call for a roofer, for example, that could be $50,000 to $100,000 out the door, literally because they missed one phone call. And then helping them get Google reviews and rank on Google is huge because even with ChatGPT, when people search through chat or search through Google, the first 3 people that pop up in the map pack, like those are usually the people that get the most calls. So we help contractors rank higher up there as well. And that's it. But the main foot in the door offer is always the website because that's the stickiest thing. And then once we hook them on the website, then we can say, hey, Mr. X, we also have all these other services. Do you need them? And they need them most of the time because they don't have shit set up because they're contractors, right? So that's the idea, man, is hook them with the website and then really lock them in with all the back-end systems that, by the way, help them. It's like, I say lock in like it's a bad thing. Like, dude, these small businesses, this shit is so valuable for them. It's crazy. And they're never going to figure it out by themselves, ever. So like, it's a win-win for everyone, dude. And $300 a month is nothing to a contractor, most of them, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so is that 300, is that just the website or is that the other services as kind of well?
That's the whole base package. So that's reviews, auto call, text back, website, helping them with the Google page, all that stuff. And that's a lot for, I mean, we do a lot for 297, but then once we give them that and like, they see it's working and they're like, holy shit, like these guys are awesome, professional XYZ. Obviously that's not for everyone, but that's how we like it to be, right? Sometimes you have problem clients, but if you give them a great onboarding process and you give them something valuable, it's so fucking easy to be like, hey, Mr. Contractor, you've been paying us $300 a month now for 2 or 3 months and everything's going well. Do you also want all these other things? Oh yeah, you do? Perfect. They already know, like, and trust you. It's so easy to upsell them. And contractors, I mean, any small business is happy to give you money if you can give them results, like genuinely. But there's such a lack of trust in the marketplace right now. And because there's a bunch of fucking nerds in their mom's basement, scamming people out of $3,000 to $5,000 a month and they don't know what they're doing. Right. Which is why I didn't want to be that kid when I first started either. So lack of trust in the marketplace, being authentic and raw, is huge for the business as well.
For sure. In terms of the upsell, I think you said before, kind of 70 out of 200 people. Is that kind of accurate as a expected percentage of kind of retention rate?
Yeah, I pulled that on my ass. I don't know the exact stat off the top of my head. I could look for it, but I know our upgrade rate just in general on the sales call. So because now we're trying to pull cash forward. So an upgrade might be, do you want to do Google ads? Do you want to optimize your Google page? Do you want extra blog posts on the website? Our upgrade rate on the initial call is 50%. So 50% of people take some kind of an upgrade, which, pushes the cash collected way up, right? Way up.
So 50% of people on sales call 1 are taking the upsell.
Yeah, exactly. And then on the back end, I don't know the stat off the top of my head on the back end. But I would imagine probably 20 or 30% on the back end take it, or we can get them to upsell. That being said, I mean, obviously my brand is transparency. We fucked up so bad and we scaled way too fast and our customer service reps were not trained right. So like the upsells have been way down because if you don't give them a good initial experience, why would they pay you more money? Yeah. If you mess up their first 1 to 3 weeks of like onboarding and getting them set up, you're screwed, right? And that's completely our fault. We scaled way too fast. And that's just something that happens when that's just I'm sure a lot of other people had that mistake as well, We're fixing it as we speak.
And when do you start that kind of upsell process? So assuming they haven't bought on kind of call one, you get started with the initial package. When are you hitting them with the upsell stuff?
We basically just, as soon as they're ready. So as soon as we can see that they're getting leads and they're getting good results, or they're just really happy with the service already, we'll just get our customer service reps to kind of like lightly pitch them. And our whole company brand is like no hard selling, no nerd shit, no fancy suit and tie, no like, hello, sir, how are you today? None of that nerd shit. It's very much like, hey, dude, I see you're doing well with the website XYZ. Not to sound like a salesy piece of shit, but we also have these other services. Do you want me to like give you just a rundown of what they are? Right. So the whole brand is very casual and very just like, hey, we have this here if you want it. And I think specifically for contractors, that style of selling works extremely well. Just being casual and just being super straightforward.
And where are you having that conversation? Is this a call? Is this just, text?
It's either, but it'll be on the check-in call about 30 days after they sign up. As long as everything goes smoothly, we'll bring it up on the check-in call, either month one or month two. Another thing is if they want to run Google ads, they have to have lots of Google reviews. So if we can get them 50 to 80 Google reviews, those are just the guys that do the best with ads. So it's kind of just like an API, like, hey, this guy has 50 Google reviews, hit them up for an upsell, right? That's it. Because they're going to do well with Google ads for sure.
Okay.
And by the way, sorry to interrupt. Yep. That's a beautiful thing about bringing in so many people on the $297 plan. You can then cherry pick who you already know is going to do well with the upsells. And then you can just make way more money because you can now cherry pick the people where it's like, hey, this guy has 120 Google reviews. His competitors have like 10. If we start running Google ads for this guy, he's going to crush it, right? So you can just cherry pick way better and get your clients better results and increase the LTV of the client as well. So super important. That's another reason why I love the low ticket, high volume kind of business.
Okay. Obviously, you've got kind of Google ads as the upsell. Are there other services, and what are the kind of price points for these upsells?
Yeah, so the Google ads is $750. That's like the main upsell, and then there's just the Google ads is like the main recurring upsell, and then we'll just have, hey, do you want to customize your website with more blog posts, more SEO content? SEO is another upsell, but the main two are going to be SEO Google ads, and then on the front end, it's optimizing their Google page for like $1,500 or something. So we try to get like that one-time fee for upfront cash collected. And then I don't think we have any, we're going to add something, but our highest service is $750 a month. Like we don't go anywhere over $1,000 because the majority of small businesses, like they can't afford that shit. That's why the social media marketing model is like, in my opinion, slowly dying because of that,
Yeah. Okay. I want to talk now about lead gen. And a lot of people would say like, you can't do this essentially, right? They would say, you're charging $300. Yeah, it's monthly, but like you're not offsetting your CAC. Terrible business model. What are they kind of not understanding here?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, our cost per acquisition right now it's actually insane. This is with sales commission. This is with everything included is $395 or $355, which is insane right now. Right.
Yeah.
But for the longest time, we still had it at 1-to-1 when we didn't have salespeople and it was just me selling. It was still like $250 to acquire a client, which is like, if you can get 1-to-1 on the front end and your LTV is 4 or 5K, right? All of like the majority of your money is coming on the back end. So as long as you can just at the very least break even or even a 0.5 on the front end, and like if you just know your metrics, then it can work, right? It's just at the beginning, 2 years ago when everyone was telling me I was a dumbass for trying to do this, nobody was really selling like a 297 thing because they couldn't make the CAC work, right?
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, what was the original question?
No, I think you kind of covered it there. So it's just like, what are people not understanding that say this model is stupid? But yeah,
now everyone's all about it, bro. Now every fucking idiot and their freaking mom is copying my shit because it's all on YouTube. So now everyone's like, oh, this is so genius. 2 years ago, everyone called me an idiot. It's just like how times change, like 2 years ago, bro, so many people were hitting me up being like, dude, you need to run ads. Like this is going to fail month 3. Like you're a dumbass XYZ. And now 2 years later, everyone's like, oh, this is genius. Nobody's ever thought of this before. It's like, dude, I was saying this shit all along. Right. And that being said, I wasn't sure. I just kind of had this like mental, it just made sense in my head. And I wasn't sure if it was going to work in the actual world, but like the hypothesis was just like, dude, if I can get someone on a low ticket price and get them paying month after month after month for a systematized service that I don't have to pay a lot of money to set up, then it'll work long term. As long as I can stack that base of recurring revenue and have some padding for bad months, like I should be good. And the hypothesis has worked so far, man. So yeah.
Okay.
That's how I got it to work for all the freaking nerds out there telling me it's dumb to charge 97.
And in terms of LTV, I think you said kind of 4 to 5K.
Yeah.
Obviously, like once you've got this working, this is, a crucial part of the client's business. And I'm assuming they don't have the kind of tech know-how to kind of do it themselves. So what's the average kind of lifespan you keep people for, or kind of churn? Like, do you have data around that?
Yeah. So right now it's horrible. So 13 months and our churns are like 8 to 9%, which is like, it's not good. It's not horrible. Like horrible is like we've had it as high as 14, but we want to get to 4 or 3. And again, This is a direct issue on our part of scaling way too fast without the customer service in place. So when you scale as fast as we've scaled, it creates this huge bucket, but then there's all these holes because we didn't hire the correct amount of customer success managers. So the issue is as clear as day. Our biggest issue right now is churn because of a shitty onboarding process, because it's our fault because we didn't hire enough success managers. But once we fix that hole, we should be good to go, because our biggest complaint right now is clients just saying, hey, I got ghosted. And we're just over here like, shit, like how did this guy fall through the cracks, right? Which is horrible for our online reputation, horrible for our company. And it's just a byproduct of scaling way too fast. And obviously that happens with business. And once we get our churn to 4 or 5%, man, it's going to be even better.
Yeah. Well, I don't actually think that's
there's an issue across industries, right? If you can fix that churn metric, dude, you're freaking golden. Sorry to interrupt, but super important.
I was going to say that, like, I know a lot of kind of agency people and your churn is not high by kind of standards.
Well, the traditional agency, the churn is like 60 or 70% after like, even before month 3. It's because they charge $1,500 to $3,000 and they don't see results month 1, and then they churn. Or best case scenario, you get them great results, and month 2 or month 3 they churn because you stack their calendar too much. So either way, you're cooked, you know. But yeah, that's why it's good to have a low ticket to fall back on that you can downside to, you know.
For people that are kind of, you know, not having this onboarding issue and they're kind of staying with you for, let's say, 6 months, 7 months, what are the typical kind of reasons for them choosing to leave? And what's the kind of process if they do? Want out?
The number one thing right now is shitty customer service, but then the next thing is misaligned expectations. So obviously it's incredibly easy to sell a $297 package if you kind of like, I don't want to say lie, but like if somebody asks me, hey, when am I going to get leads from this? I'll tell them like, hey, this is not a direct lead generation system. This is a system for your business. The outcome is more business. But our sales guys, right, they're incentivized to sell. So we have to really watch closely what our sales guys are saying to make sure they're not just trying to get their back, right? So it's misaligned expectations of them expecting they're going to like pay $297 and get a full lead generation service. So we have to just hammer our sales guys to like be like, hey, make sure you say this very clearly. The outcome of these systems is more business, but this is not direct lead generation. Direct lead generation is going to be running ads. We're not running ads for these guys month 1. So it's just number 1, shitty customer service, which we're fixing. And then number 2 is misaligned expectations. And that's probably pretty similar across all agencies, I would say.
Yeah. Okay. And in terms of your kind of funnel structure, what does your sales funnel look like? So you said, you know, on the front end, you've got these super raw ads. What happens when someone kind of clicks that ad to get on a call with you? What's the process?
Yeah, it's just a basic book a call funnel. So they'll click the ad, they'll go to another page, and we want congruency all the way through. So it's like, hey, here's how we help contractors grow for $297. If you're tired of bullshit marketing agencies charging your arm or leg, blah blah blah, watch this no BS video below, and I'll show you how we're making more money. That's it. And then they just go to the video, and it's just me in the video, like just making fun of nerds and their marketing agencies, and then me being like, dude, like, this is what we do. This is exactly the price. Here's exactly what we set up for you. There's no bullshit. Basically, take it or leave it is the vibe. Not in like a mean or rude way. It's just like, dude, Mr. Contractor, here's what we do. Here's the price. I'm not going to freaking chase you down. If you want it, let me know. That's the vibe of the video. And it works. It converts like crazy. It works well.
Okay. And what's the kind of call booking opt-in process and then pre-call nurture? What have you got set up there?
It's just we have to we hammer them with that short VSL video. It's like 5 or 6 minutes. They have to watch that video. We don't even let our sales guys take calls with people who haven't seen the video, because that video is what allows us to sell. It's them. It's me talking, obviously. So it's them seeing my vibe as the owner of the company, seeing how I explain stuff, giving a very, very clear value proposition, saying, hey, this is what these are what our clients see. This is why it helps you. This is how these systems make you more money. So the main thing with the nurture is just how can we make sure that they watch that video before they hop on the call? That's the number one thing, dude. If they don't watch that video, we're cooked. We're not closing them. Waste of time.
Okay. And how are you kind of doing that or tracking that people have watched it?
What is it called? Wistia. Wistia has a thing where it's also a trigger link, so we can see if they clicked it, and then we can see how much of the video they watched. But we basically just ask them before, like, the first question out of our sales guy's mouth is like, did you get a chance to watch the video? If they say no worries, but let me share my screen and show you. We're not talking until you watch that, right? Because if they don't watch the video, like, we're not closing them. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
Okay. And then that's it, man. It's just how can we make sure they watch that? How can we get somebody to watch that video and then show up to the call already knowing who we are, what we do, and how much we charge? Most important. Because like, dude, you know this, but like in the social media marketing space, they're like, never say the price, keep the price until you've stacked all the value on the call. Bro, tell somebody the fucking price, tell them what they're going to get, and then just have a casual conversation. Like all this Jeremy Minor freaking sales bullshit. Like I'm sure it works. No hate on him. He's a great sales guy. But it's like, bro, times are changing, dude. People like transparency instead of all this sales psychology bullshit. Like it's so key, you know?
Yeah. And mechanically, what does that look like? So what kind of info are you collecting on the form? And, you know, are you following up via text? Like what's that process like before they get on the call?
Yeah, basic revenue qualifying questions. So do you make over $10,000 a month? And then it'll just give different revenue levels. If they make less than 10, it will redirect them and disqualify them. And then we just follow up relentlessly via text and we say, hey, your appointment's scheduled. And then same, congruency all the way through. Hey, I'm sure you're tired of bullshit marketing agencies. Just so you know, here's that video again. It's exactly what we do. If you watch it and you don't like it, let me know and I'll cancel your call. No worries. Right. Yeah. So it's just congruency of the sales message all the way through. And then disqualifying like super, super broke, unqualified people. Small businesses in general don't make a lot of money. But if they're making under 10K a month, it's like even $297 for them. Yep. Don't have a lot. So we just kind of realize our ideal avatar makes over 10K a month if they're small business. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of your stuff about kind of text versus email. Why are you so kind of focused on text inside the funnel? And is this kind of, are you making sure it's the blue iMessage text? And yeah, can you just talk to me your thoughts on text in general?
Dude, the blue iMessage text is key. We don't even have that right now. That's on the to-do list. We have to fix the customer service issue first. I just watched my buddy run his business. That motherfucker doesn't even know what email is, right? He's a contractor. So I'm just like, bro, like I know we have to be, and just in general, like I'm tech savvy and even I like text. I hate going back and forth through email. I hate it. I hate it. So I know on the front end, helping the clients get more business, everyone likes to text, but especially with contractors. And then on the back end, like just me as a person, how I go through life, I'm always on my phone. I'm always checking my texts. I'm like the rate that I look at my texts and text versus email, it's night and day different. So like, how can we just make sure that they see the information? And it's just I'm so bullish on text, dude. It's crazy. Email is going out the fucking window, honestly. And the thing is, it's kind of a nightmare. ATP registration, to get like texting officially is kind of a nightmare to do. So small businesses, I know 90% of them don't have that shit. So once you can just give them the texting feature, just that is going to like dramatically increase their business, and they're never going to figure that shit out by themselves, right? So that's why I'm so bullish on text. I love text.
Another kind of macro question here. This is around kind of chatbots. So I've started to see a few kind of people in the space do this, having the kind of, you know, chatbot on the site and people can go back and forth with that. And I think where I'm going with this is like, do you think sales calls are required? Because I know some info guys that just kind of close in the Instagram DM for, you know, 5K ticket kind of packages. Obviously, you know, different niche to you, but yeah, could you just talk through your thoughts on kind of chatbots, DM closing and that versus, you know, the traditional sales call?
100%. Well, I started selling info as well. It's way easier to sell info than it is to sell to a contractor, right? Because info, they already know, like, and trust you. They've been watching your content. I sell stuff through DM as well. It's super easy because the person's already so warm to you. So that's why it works for info. And for info, maybe you don't need sales call. If you have a DM funnel that's working, you can close via DM. My opinion, that's probably only possible via selling an info product, right? Because they've seen so much of your content and they just like and trust you so much. Sales calls, I would say for agencies selling to like a small business who isn't online all the time and doesn't know who you are, doesn't give a shit about you, absolutely 110% required. Chatbots and DMs and everything can warm a prospect up, but there's no fucking way they're closing it for you. The same way, like I get pitched, like someone pitched me like a voice agent to close calls for me. I was like, there's no way, bro. Our sales guys can, like, not that they can barely close calls, but dude, it's tougher than you'd imagine, even on a 297. Like you have to do some fucking mental jujitsu on these guys to get them to pay, man. Because people are sketched out. They don't want to give a credit card over the phone, especially contractors, bro. There's no way they're doing that. If they think something's AI, they already hate you, right? They're very anti-AI until they see it working, and then they're like, oh, we love it, you know.
Okay, so it's kind of like a maybe, and it depends on, you know, traffic source, what type of product you're kind of selling, and what avatar or kind of industry you're selling it to.
It's a definite no if you're doing like agency services, in my opinion. It can absolutely work if you're selling info. I have guys, I mean, I don't do it, but I have guys who hit me up all the time who are like, hey, do you have like a private course or something, or can I do X, Y, Z? I'll do coaching calls maybe, But yeah, I'll send the link for an $800 or $600 call, and then just like, cool, paid, boom, because they already know, like, and trust you. It's a whole different thing than selling to a cold audience,
Okay.
Cool.
I want to talk about the kind of sales call stuff now, because I watched one of your sales calls. I think it was the YouTube video you put out a couple of weeks ago. I thought it was insane. So it's literally the complete opposite of every kind of sales guru. And I get that you're also like this in kind of the ads, and it's congruent across the funnel. Very raw, very authentic. Can you just talk through your kind of philosophy on sales calls?
Dude, I spent so much time trying to learn sales and like learn from like Jeremy Miner and like and what's that guy's name? Andy Elliott. And I just, dude, I was, every time I watched their stuff, no shade against them. They've obviously very successful careers, but bro, I would just cringe. I'm like, this just feels so fake. Like it feels so, it almost to me was like it's like going on a date with a girl and sitting there and being like, yeah, what's your favorite color? Like, what's your career? Like just like asking like basic ass questions, as opposed to like just being polarizing. And that's the only thing. My whole thought process was just like, how can I not be like every other sales guy that these guys have hopped on with? Right. Yep. Like it doesn't matter what it is. It's just, how can I not be like everyone else? And it's kind of complicated, right? Because there's a reason that sales was taught that way for a long time. It's because it works. And I just have a really hard time not being authentic. And if I can just say it how it is and just like, it sounds so gay, but be true to myself and like how I am as a person, that comes across on camera, right? And it just makes the whole sales process easier. And contractors specifically, they have this weird, uncanny ability to know when someone's full of shit, right? Yep. And they've also been on so many sales guys. They're like, with their big dick alpha energy guys. It's like when you just sit there and level with them, dude, and you're just like, hey, bro, like here's what we have, here's what we do. Do you have any questions? It's just such a better sales process than being like, how would it make you feel if we got your next 20 jobs a month? It would feel great, dude. No shit. Just break past all the bullshit and tell them what you do, how much you charge, and like the average results they're going to get, bro. It's a way easier sale. And they respect the hell out of it too. And I think everyone respects the hell out of, if nothing else, just being authentic. Even if you sound like an idiot, at least you're being real and just being authentic,
So I question whether it kind of ever actually worked, because I feel like I've gotten sales calls like 5 years ago that were like that. And I was like, are you on the same kind of planet, like mentally, right? Like, it's very strange. I don't think it works in 2026 though. And I think the market's just kind of more sophisticated. Do you think that kind of sales style, structure, etc., is done now?
I would say so. I think maybe with high ticket, you need to be a little bit more structured. But dude, even high ticket, man, if we ever do high ticket stuff, like I'm going to structure it the same way. I'm going to make them watch a video showing exactly what we do. And like, dude, even if you threw me on an offer right now and said, hey, you're closing a 15K product, I would do it the same way. Like, make sure they watch a video. I'd get on the call and I would just be like, cool, man, you see the video? You did? Cool. What questions do you have? And let me just rapid fire. Okay, cool. Answer all these questions. Because dude, like the whole framework of like the old school sales is like, find their pain, XYZ. Dude, people are like, if people know who you are, know what you charge ish, and like what you do, they want to buy from you. They probably just have one or two things in their head holding them back from actually pulling the trigger. And if you can just say, what questions do you have? Instead of like going through a minefield, they'll just tell you what their objections are and then just handle them real quick and then say, cool, is there anything else you would need to know before we get you started? That's it. Magic. And then they close. So dude. I think going back to what you said though, when I was a beginner, I got sold by multiple sales guys using like the Jeremy Miner process, right? I really did. And I think it works on beginners, but again, the market's so much more sophisticated now that I completely agree with you. I think it's out the window. Again, I don't have experience in high ticket sales, so I don't know. Maybe it's different. Maybe I'm an idiot and maybe someone's going to look at this and be like, yeah, go, like, bro, good luck. Go sell it 15, which I fucking would. Just give it to me. I swear to God, I'll sell it. But yeah, man, I'm not 100% sure on that.
So look, I'm going to be honest. Like, I think I watched that video probably 3 times, because the first time I watched it, so this is your video I'm talking about now.
Yeah.
It didn't really feel like a sales call. It just felt like and correct me if I'm wrong, but your process is you send the information up front, the customer's educated, they come to the call, you kind of pattern interrupt with what you say at the start about asking about questions. You're not really getting into, how was your day? Where are you based? Like all this kind of stuff. You kind of, run through questions. I do want to come on to kind of how you handle objections and kind of, get into the real question in a sec, but that seems to be it. And then the close is very casual.
It should never feel like a sales call, dude. Because what's the one thing someone does when they feel like they're being sold to is they tighten up. They're like, exactly. I'm sure you've had the same experience. I do too. When I know I'm being sold, I'm just like, oh, fuck you. Right? It's just my natural reaction. no matter if I like the product or not. I'm just like, bro, like, I know what you're doing. Just stop. Like, it's just embarrassing. It's cringy as shit. Like, even the Andy Elliott stuff I watch, I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. That was just my opinion, and I tried it and it worked. And dude, I tried to study because I knew I needed to learn how to sell. And dude, I tried to study it. I just couldn't. I was just like, I just don't think this is it.
Yep.
And then, we kind of fell backwards to the end of the process of, cool, you saw the video. What questions do you have? Cool. What questions do you have? What questions do you have? And it works, man. And it works for our sales guys as well. Like it crushes it. It really, really does. So yeah.
Okay. I want to talk about the objections then, because I know in the video, you're kind of like, there's an objection, but it's not the real one. How do you have that level of understanding, and how do you know kind of when to keep pushing or digging?
That only comes after thousands of calls, dude. That's not something even our sales guys now, they don't have that. Like it's very hard. That's very hard. I'm trying to think of how to explain this. It's not that I don't believe in objections. I don't think objections is the right word. I think it's questions. And I don't think it's like really, it's like even if someone says like, how do I know this is going to work for me? Which is technically an objection. It's more of a question. So I've never really understood the term objection. I always just think of it as like, let me just answer the question, and let me just let them just tell me what questions they have so I can just rapid fire answer them. If they don't have questions, there's no reason they're not closing. It's just they're unsure about something, right? So that's just kind of how I view it. Again, I don't come from a sales background. I just think if you can keep it casual and make them feel like it's a conversation instead of a sales call, maybe you'll lose some of them. But overall, if you average it out over like a year and 1,000 sales calls, you're going to close more with, my opinion, my style than like a high ticket closing style. I'm sure they both work. I just think my shit's better. Blind confidence, honestly.
Something else I think you do well on the call, and I'm not sure if it's kind of deliberate or just, maybe personality type, but like your status, especially in your kind of area of knowledge, is very high. Is that something you're kind of deliberately building?
What do you mean by that? I'm confused.
So you are the expert, and you're kind of positioning yourself as that. Is that a kind of deliberate?
Oh, I see. Yeah,
play?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you are the expert. Like if I got on a call with a roofer and I was like trying to get my roof redone, I don't know shit about roofs. He would be the expert, right? So I'm kind of like listening to him. But if you can casually sit there, and I don't even know where I heard this, but like on a sales call, right? At the start of a sales call, I imagine like we're sitting across the table from each other like this. At the end of the call or throughout the whole call, if I can come around this side of the table and we can kind of have a conversation, like I'm sitting, like showing my mom something on a computer. And like, she's like, oh, cool. Thank you. Yeah, this is great. This is great. Oh my God, you know so much. That person's going to buy from you because they view you as the expert. They don't feel sold to. And they're just like, God, I'm never going to figure this shit out. Like, I want this guy to do it for me because you've already shown them value. And it's not like you're gatekeeping anything. You're just like, you're even giving them knowledge for free. Like, hey, dude, you could probably like, I'll say this on sales calls, like, hey, if you just go do this, this, and this, you could probably improve your business. Just make sure you watch a YouTube video and make sure you do this and press this button correctly. And in their head, they're just like, okay, cool, for sure. Can you just do it for me? Of course, baby, give me that credit card. There you go. That's it. So like, you can tell people like, bro, somebody could tell me how to freaking mow the lawn and explain it to me. I still going to pay someone to do it because I don't want to do it myself. Like, that's it. And most people are like that. So yeah, it just, I don't know, dude. Maybe it is by accident. Maybe it's not. If you can keep it casual, it's just so much better for anything, dude.
Okay. The other thing I like is you kind of downplay almost the chances of success, or kind of push it back to them in saying, I think there was a bit around the Google ads where you're like, you can figure it out yourself, and you probably should at the start, try it yourself. And then there was a question of, how do I know this is going to work, or how do I know I'm going to get kind of leads? And you almost kind of downplay what you're selling.
Yeah.
Is that deliberate? And what's the kind of psychology behind that? If so,
number one, polarizing, bro. If you're a contractor and you ask a sales guy a question like, so am I going to get leads? And the sales guy goes into this long bullshit pitch about, we have to optimize this and do this, and you do blah, 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 you're going to get leads. And I just, you ask me the same question, I just look at you, I just say like, bro, I got no fucking idea. I hope so. They're just like, what? Like, it just completely pattern interrupts them, right? And then you can start it. Now they're not like all defensive and XYZ, because it's just like chicks, bro. Like, they'll shit test you with questions and just like kind of see how you react. So it's not that I downplay our service. I'm just like, hey man, like if you want leads, like you're going to have to spend money on ads. Like, this is not some bullshit of like some China product that you're going to get a full lead gen system for $297, right? Like, here's where it is. I can't promise you like how many leads you're going to get, but I can tell you if we get you 50 extra Google reviews, the outcome of those Google reviews that we got you is more business. Like, I can't give you an exact amount. I can just tell you that it's more. The last thing you want to do, because when they ask that question, it's literally a shit test, because a normal sales guy will try to like be a little snake and like skirt the question and like kind of like reroute it. And me, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. It's like, again, I know this sounds so dumb. It's just like, it works so much better in practice than when I feel like I'm saying it to you now. Like when you say that shit to a contractor, you can just see in their eyes, they've never heard that before. And now they're listening, and then they respect you, and people buy from people they like and respect. And yeah, man, that's just, this is not like stuff I've learned. This is just like how I view it, like personally.
Yeah.
And it seems to be working, you know?
Okay. And the next thing that kind of made me raise my eyebrows, I guess, was the kind of close. It was just so calm and casual. And I think it was literally like, if you want to get started, we can probably, have a kickoff call tomorrow.
Yeah. So you want to set something in the future and kind of like tie them down a little bit. But you basically want to make sure they're out of questions, right? As long as they're out of questions, you can close. You want to, if you can, this doesn't always happen, but permission to close. So if they say, cool, so like what's next, or what's the process, or how do we get started? Those things are like, cool, green light. But sometimes you kind of have to push them into it, right? And by that, I mean, like, I don't say, cool, so I'm just going to take your payment real quick and get you started. Or, hey, cool, are you ready to pay? Are you ready to give me your payment? Hey, do you want to start now? Hey, do you want to pay?
Yeah.
None of that shit. Just cool, dude. What other questions do you have? Oh, no more questions? Awesome. Let me just go ahead and get you signed up then. Would tomorrow work for an onboarding call for you? They say yes. You just boom, pull up the payment, you share your screen, and that's it. Like, you don't ever say, cool, I'm going to take your payment. You don't ask. You just like kind of gently lead them into it. Right. And they know as soon as you start sharing your screen, you pull up that Stripe, you're going to ask for their fucking credit card. They know it. You know it. Everyone knows it. It's just a matter of, and you've probably seen the sales calls too. I leave that payment screen up there for as long as possible. And then I fill in every other piece of information first and then ask for their credit card at the very end. They know it's coming. I know it's coming. They know it's coming. It's just like, you want to gently ease them into it,
And why are you taking payment on the call? I feel like a lot of people, would say just send the invoice afterwards, send some follow-up emails.
Bro, that's got to be the dumbest shit. I can't fathom why you would ever let somebody off a call without giving you payment. It makes no sense, bro. The second they get off that call, they're gonna be like, oh, I forgot to ask that question. If they have one thing that they forgot to ask or they're not sure about, guess who's not getting paid, bro? It's you. You're cooked. You have to get the payment on the call or a credit card or something on file. Just like a little snippet. I was trying to find a PR agency. I was on some reality TV show, whatever, a while ago, and I was trying to find a PR agency. And dude, I got on a call with a couple of guys. They were like, cool, yeah, I was like, can I just pay you now? And they say like, no, we'll just send you an invoice and you'll pay on the onboarding call. That happened 3 times. Guess what?
Wow.
I didn't work with any of them. I would have been down to work with any of those guys if they had just let me pay on the call. All of those guys lost business because they didn't give me the payment link on the call. I was down. Fucking idiots. So always take the payment on the call, dude. Always. That's like the number one. I don't know why you wouldn't, that shit blows my mind. I don't get it.
What would you say, to people that might say it's unprofessional, you're kind of too pushy?
Fuck them. It works. Literally. I don't know. And like, obviously don't be too pushy, right? It's like if you like, and again, I'm not really that pushy on sales calls. And that's the beauty of it. Like if someone doesn't want to buy for a 297 product, like there's only so much pushing you can do, in worst case scenario, you can schedule a follow-up call. But the majority of the time, dude, if someone's not paying on that first call, you're probably going to lose them. And either like, it's just not for them. And some people were just never going to close in the first place. And you just kind of have to be okay with that, But I don't even really do the whole objection handling thing. I don't really do that much. So I just don't believe in it.
You kind of touched on it there, but what do you do if you kind of get to that stage where someone's like, I don't really want to pay now. I don't feel comfortable kind of doing this or whatever.
Yeah, no worries, dude. So is it just not for you? And if they just say like, no, it's not for me, then you lose them. That's it, right? You don't go through the whole process for 297. But if they say anything else, it's like, yeah, no worries. I don't have to charge you today. Let me just get a card on file and we can charge you like, when would be a good time? And usually they'll say, oh, I just need 3 or 4 days to think about it. Like, no worries. If we'll put the card on file and we'll get you scheduled for an onboarding call just to get everything going. If you change your mind for any reason, just let me know and I'll make sure the charge doesn't go through. Because now it's way easier for them to like rationalize saying yes later because they're like, oh, they already have my card. I'm already the process already started. But that's why we kind of have that free trial as like, not like a plan B, but it's like, that's worst case scenario, give them a free trial and you still get their commitment, right? Because you still get the card on file. If that doesn't work, you schedule a follow-up call. But our trial conversion is about 50%. So that's decent, right? It's way better. That's why I tell our guys, like at the very least, get them on a trial, because at least half those people will convert,
Okay. I want to talk about kind of scaling and kind of team and ops now. So you said, some of the stuff you've had issues around with onboarding, CS and kind of stuff like that. What is your kind of hiring and management process? And I guess as well, like how have you adapted that to kind of fix some of these problems?
Yeah, I mean the hiring process is pretty simple. Like we run Facebook ads and we just say, hey, we're looking for a customer success manager. Here's the experience needed. We will not even look at your application without a 1 or 2 minute Loom video telling me like who you are, why we should hire you, XYZ.
Yep.
That Loom video tells you 90% of if they're going to be a good candidate or not, and then we'll get a bunch of those Loom videos and then we'll just interview those people, first round, second round, and third round interviews. And that's it. That's the actual hiring process. But as far as like, I mean, dude, I'll just be honest. It's a shit show. It's super hard. Like it's at this level, it's not even about like your product or anything anymore. It's like, dude, how the fuck do you train people to like be as good or anywhere near as good as you with this shit? And people are fucking dumb too, dude. So it's just like, yeah, man, it's hard. And me and Mike, my partner, like we struggle with it a lot because it's like, you have to create really good systems and really good training. And then one thing changes in the process and you have to redo all the SOPs. So to be quite frank with you, bro, I don't even want to give advice on it because I think that's our biggest struggle right now. And it's something like that's the meta skill of business that both me and Mike are learning right now is like, how do we hire and train really well? Because we've been able to get here like based off just kind of like gut feelings about people. But like, dude, you really need a good hiring process. And it's just like, and not only that, but once you hire them, like, how do you train them well? Those are like just meta skills that we're just struggling with right now, man. And we'll figure it out. But dude, it's tough to be honest. That's why I don't really want to give like guru advice on that shit. I'm not proud of how I don't think we're good at hiring and I don't think we're good at training. I think those are our two worst things right now. And once we figure that out, we're gonna be balling, right? But it's like that's something there's no way around it. It's just a mountain. We have to start climbing it, you know?
Yeah. What positions do you hire for?
Customer success, sales, engineers. So engineers are the ones who like actually deliver and set up the GoHighLevel account. Yep. That's it though. I mean, the majority of it is just going to 90% of it is just going to be customer success managers and fulfillment team. That's it. Sales, like our sales guys, I fucking love them. They crush it. And sales is really easy to hire for, dude. Customer success, the hardest role by far because they have to be kind of good at sales. They have to be personable. They have to be tech savvy to do the tech setup. So customer success, man, at scale, signing 200 or 300 clients a month is, dude, it's so gnarly. Like it sucks, but it has to be done, you know?
In terms of that talent source, is it all kind of onshore in the US and is it all kind of from Facebook ads? Or what does it look like? All from
Facebook ads, all offshore. US employees suck, bro. They're lazy. They want too much money. Like, dude, Latin America, they work so hard. You can pay them so well. And like, we pay our people really well. I'm a big proponent of that. Like some of our closers, they make 10K a month and that's offshore. Right. So it's like, that's a shit ton of money for them. Yeah. And honestly, bro, like Americans, I'm American. I don't know. I think they're lazy as shit. And like, I just think they're bad workers in general. No hate. It's just like what we've seen so far. Every American onshore hire I've made has not been great. So that's just what I've sure there are great guys out there. And to build a really insane company, like multi-billion, multi-million, I'm sure you would need to hire onshore. I'm sure we'll get to there. But like for the little stuff we're doing now, it doesn't make sense. We can find better talent and way cheaper talent completely offshore. So that's just how I do it now.
But even sales guys are offshore hires. Yeah,
because dude, our sales process is so easy. Hey, what questions do you have? Make sure they know all the answers to every question. Boom, close them right there, baby. That's it. There's no, you already know that. But when the sales process is that easy and just like, again, that's why I think if you can sell like that with just saying those things, what questions do you have, it makes the sales process easier too. You don't have to memorize a script. You just memorize the same answer to 20 different questions and you're good. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. In terms of the lead gen for your kind of clients, obviously Facebook ads, have you got kind of other sources and how have you scaled that Facebook ad kind of spend?
Yeah, the spend's going crazy. We get referrals, but I mean, 80%, 90% of it, it's all through Facebook ads.
Wow.
And dude, Facebook ads it's a funny thing, man, because I see so many different perspectives on it. For me, like, I mean, I just go full retard with it, man. I let the algorithm just like target, and I just throw up a bunch of creatives and I say crazy shit, and I just look at it like a hawk for the first week and just optimize and just go from there. And it's just volume. It's the same reason, like when you throw up a piece of content, like why does that content do better than other pieces? Like, I don't really know. Nobody really knows. It's like for whatever reason, your tonality, your eye contact, what you said, your voice, whatever, for whatever reason, it just works in that one clip. So one thing we'll do that I see a lot of guys not doing is they'll go with the classic, like, let's film 20 hooks and 5 bodies. And then we'll have, like 120 ads or 100 ads, whatever the math is on that. To get 120 ads, I will film each ad its own way. Even if it's a very similar script, same hook, same body, whatever. I just know the number one with Andromeda, I'm saying things slightly different. Maybe I'm wearing a different hat. Maybe my mannerisms are a little bit different, but the 5 hooks, one body thing, or sorry, yeah, 5 hooks, one body with Andromeda, I just don't think that works anymore. I think the algorithm can recognize it's the same exact ad.
Yeah.
And I know that we need a lot more creative diversity now. So dude, I'll just film, even if I'm saying the exact same script, I'll still film it 15, 20 different times because I know each one's a little bit different. Oh, and here's one more thing I'll do. And this is like for anyone looking to scale meta ads. If we have one ad that's working, I will literally sit down and say the exact same script, different hat, like a different stuff, the exact same thing, a couple different places. But I will just keep ripping that because I know that works with different tonality, different clothing. Maybe I'll emphasize different words. But like, dude, if it works, repeat successful actions. Like it's not rocket science, dude. If it works, do more of it. That's it. It's the biggest thing with ads.
Okay. And in terms of creative diversity, is it all kind of you talking head to the camera?
Yeah, we have some images, but for the most part, 90% of it's just me and my beautiful face saying dumb shit on camera, and it just converts like crazy, bro. And it's just like, I don't know why. I'm sure everyone can figure it out eventually. It's just I don't even script either. I'll script the first sentence and then I'll just go off the top of my head every single time. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that works better too. I think it's, again, bro, people have a weird ability to sense when you're full of shit when you're reading off a script, and I think just being able to go off the top, it just makes the whole ad flow better. I still script the first sentence usually, but then every time off that, I'll just kind of go off the top of my head and just. Sometimes, you know what the key is? I'll actually get kind of drunk before I film. Like I'll take like 3 or 4 shots of tequila, and dude, then I have a good time and I'm just ripping. I'm in flow state. I'm just saying dumb shit, and like I'm making jokes that I wouldn't make sober. Right. So that's a key right there. Take 3 or 4 shots, dude. Our best ad to this day is still me, like actually blacked out of my mind, just like saying stuff on a camera. And that's still like, I think in our top, that's been running for like, it was the last time we were in Texas. So probably like 6 months. And like, we were just, I was pre-aiming to go out and I was just ripping these ads and I was like, dude, these ads are going to fucking crush. And they did, dude. Cause it was like, you're having fun. The vibe is good. And as long as you know what you're talking about, the ads are going to do well. Yeah. Again, this is not sales and marketing advice. This is just what worked for us. But, take a couple of shots of tequila before you film, bro. Your ads will probably do better.
And in terms of scaling, is it just, in your eyes anyway, is it just kind of more creative is the way to scale?
Yeah, I don't see what else. I mean, obviously like ad accounts and scaling. I believe in scaling the account. So I don't, like scaling vertically, I think is not as good as scaling horizontally. Is that right? For horizontally? Yeah. So instead of having one ad set that like let's say we spend $5,000 a day on one ad set or one CBO campaign, I would rather have 5 and spend $1,000 each, right? If one of them goes to shit, we still have 4 more winners. So I'm a big proponent of finding where the ad kind of like does well. Like if it's $100 a day, $200 a day, whatever, letting it kind of sit there and then recreating it and finding different variations that also work. So that's what I mean by scaling the account. Don't scale the ad vertically. And that's just what's worked for us.
Okay.
And by the way, last thing with Facebook ads, bro, nobody knows what the fuck's going on. Facebook is a black box. Like you can have best practices of running ads and XYZ and analyzing, but like you never know if an ad's going to do well. That's why I just throw up a bunch of random shit and I always just say, test it. Every single time, just test it, The worst ads, like some of the worst ads I've filmed that I thought were the worst perform the best. And that's super common,
But in terms of the kind of structure, how many ads are you putting in kind of a campaign to test? And then, once you cut the crap and kind of scale the winners, how are you bumping up the kind of budgets?
Yeah, I kind of go with my like a gut instinct on that. My balls always tell me like 75, if we're doing one ad per ad set, like $75 to $85 per day for one ad set, ABO. For a campaign budget, we'll usually put 10 or 15 ads in one and we'll run it at like $150 to $200 a day. And then if that's working at that level, we don't touch it. And then I'll just duplicate it out. Whatever the winners are from that original CBO. So let's say we have 20 ads and 2 of them are winning. I will just let that thing run. I'll duplicate that entire thing. The 2 winning ads, I'll turn them off in the new campaign and I'll add 2 new ones. So what I'm looking for is how can I do 20 ads? Oh my God, someone's dying over there. How can I do 20 ads and find 2 or 3 winners every single time and just keep repeating that process for as much spend as we have the budget for? That's it.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
And how are you setting the kind of budget, like in terms of overall ad spend? Like, do you have a set percentage every month that you kind of allocate towards ads, or how do you think through that?
No idea, bro. Mike just tells me we need more clients. I go, all right, I'm up on the budget, bro. We have we don't do any of that shit. I don't know, man. There comes a point where like overanalyzing stats and it's like I know we need to do that at some point, but man, I don't know. With the ad stuff, I've just always had better luck kind of go with my gut and me just like relentlessly just thinking of dumb ideas and just testing. But as far as budget goes, it's literally as simple as like, do we have the capacity to handle more clients? Yes, up the budget. Do we need to like hold off and pull back a little bit? Like we're overscaling, cool, bump the budget down a little bit, but that's it. Nothing crazy.
Do you have like a historic rough kind of number you could give me of, percentage of revenue that you allocate towards ads or have done in the past?
About 50 to 60K a month on ads.
Nice. Okay.
But I would spend 10K a day if we could handle it right now. That's our next step. Is like people are so scared to spend money and run. It's like, bro, if you dump $5,000 and you lose all of it and you find one winning ad, you're getting your $5,000 back in no time. You just have to find one winner, bro. You have unlimited shots on goal. I love paid ads, dude. Even from day one, I didn't even know day one, before I even knew what business was, I knew what paid ads were. And I was just like, dude, eventually I'm going to figure this shit out. I'm going to figure out how to put $1 in and get $3 out. I'm just going to put as much money into this bitch as possible. Genuinely. Like that's you know? It's just a machine.
Okay. And in terms of kind of other metrics, so like percentage of spend we kind of talked about, are there, when you're looking at success in the business, you've got your churn, but what other kind of metrics are you looking at and do you care about on a day-to-day or monthly basis?
Churn is pretty much the only thing that we care about and that we track it. And that's it. I mean, we're also, neither of us are really trying to make it profit. Like I think we're at 51% margins last month and 53 the month before, which is really good. We were as low as 25% margins at one point when we were just getting cooked. But we fixed that. So dude, if we can stay above 50%, we'll look at overall margin, that's for sure. But we don't base decisions around like if we have to make a hire or we have to do something that's going to lose us a lot of money, but it's beneficial for the business, we're not going to sit there and be like, oh no, our margin's only going to be 35% this month. We don't give a fuck. If it has to be done, we have to spend the money, we're spending the money. Whatever we can do to scale, that's it. If we have to drop 20K on a coaching program, so be it. We don't use margin as like a predictor of like making decisions, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Even if we don't take home a lot of profit, if it has to be one of those months, it has to be one of those months, whatever's going to help the business the most, That being said, that's why we focus so heavily on churn. Because churn with a software company like ours is like, bro, like that's the only metric that matters, right? CAC, LTV, and churn. Like that's it. You have to focus on those three things, churn being the biggest one by far. So yeah.
Okay. And again, on the kind of ad side, you're not like, I want, X calls booked this month as kind of a target. It's just based on capacity and kind of workflow and
100%. We'll have some basic numbers. Like obviously if an ad's way out of KPI, I'm going to turn it off. But dude, this is what I mean when I laugh so hard when Facebook gurus like pretend like they know exactly what's going on. It's like, dude, we have this one ad. It's like getting like a $200 cost per lead, which is super high for us, and like a $300 cost per book call. It's a CBO campaign. And we look at the total ROAS on that. It's crushing everything else. It's like 4x our normal lead cost, 4x our normal cost per call. And this campaign, for whatever reason, is just crushing it. So if your layer one metrics are good, if your ROAS is good, who gives a shit about anything else, right? If your cost per lead, cost per call are good, who cares if you have a low click-through rate, bro? Who cares if you have a low hold time? If the number one metrics are good, cost per call, cost per lead, and overall, obviously, ROAS, don't overanalyze it, bro. It's working. Just let it rip.
Yeah.
Let Facebook do its thing. Trust him, Daddy Zuck. Literally, that's it. Genuinely.
As we kind of wrap up now, I know mindset is important for you, and you talk about this a lot.
Yeah.
What would you kind of say are the keys to success here?
The reason I like the mindset stuff is before I started business, I used to look at guys like you or anyone that's been successful in the online space, and I would always think like, this is not for me. Like they have something I don't have. Like it's just like, it's not a big deal. It's like looking at LeBron James and being like, dude, I'd love to be the best basketball player in the world, but he's 6'8", 250 pounds, athletically gifted. Like I'm okay with it. Like I'm just not that. No big deal. Yep. But business is something where it's like, holy shit, like I really shifted my whole identity and my whole perspective of like limiting beliefs and what was possible. So that's why I like the mindset stuff. And it goes back to what, you said you wanted to talk about the authenticity and all that stuff as well. I just want people to look at what I've done and be like, dude, this kid is just as regular, as average IQ as possible. He's just competitive and he just wants to make money to have freedom. And I think that's what most people want. And so many people have these beliefs that they're not smart enough, or like they don't have the money or they don't have the time. And it's like, dude, if you really want it, if you really like, I just want people to look at what I've done and be like, it's so possible. An average kid did it. Like I can do it too. I don't mean this in like a self-deprecating way. It's just like, bro, I'm pretty fucking average intelligence. If you give me an IQ test, I'm scoring like 95, guaranteed. Like genuinely, I can barely locate the US on a map. Like I'm not special. It just takes drive and determination and like competitiveness to like want to win in life. And especially for young men, dude, I'm not saying money's going to make you happy. I promise it won't, but it definitely solves a lot of your fucking problems and it gives you freedom. And dude, not having to be told what to do by a boss is just like, dude, it's just like a masculine fucking urge, dude. Like I don't want another fully grown man to tell me when I can take a piss. It just feels weird. So I don't know. That's a long-winded answer to the mindset stuff, but I just want guys, especially young men, like, dude, it's so possible, bro. Fucking cut the excuses, cut the bullshit, get to work. Like, that's it, dude. Genuinely. Yeah.
So you said kind of right at the start about breaking the limiting belief was the first time you kind of got some money from someone online. Are there any other key moments like that for you? And I think the second part to this is, are you into all the Tony Robbins stuff, or has there been a kind of journey around that kind of side of things?
I'm not a big fan of Tony Robbins at all. I think he's obviously an absolute G. He's obviously done very well for himself. I just think a lot of his stuff, it's not, I'm so hesitant to call it bullshit because it's not bullshit. I'm sure it helps people, but his whole thing is like change your internal dialogue and like kind of look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself you're worthy. And like, it's like the Alex Hormozy quote, dude. It's like, you don't build confidence by shouting affirmations in the mirror, right? You build confidence by building an undeniable stack of proof that you are who you say you are. Action. Exactly. So it's like, I'm not going to look at myself when I'm 250 pounds overweight and be like, you're beautiful. It's okay. Accept yourself. It's like, no, you can be like, I'm a fat piece of shit right now. That's okay. I accept it, but I still need to go change it. And me just looking in the mirror, pretending that it's okay to be a fat fuck is like, it's not going to change it. And I think so many people mentally masturbate. And like, that's the stuff I don't like about Tony Robbins. Obviously the dude's an absolute G. He's crushing in life. I just think it doesn't work for a lot of people. I really don't. I think action is that's why I like Alex Hormozy. He's just go do the thing. And I think that is so much better advice than look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself you're worthy of building a multi-million-dollar company. It's like, why the fuck do you think you're worthy, bro? You don't deserve shit. You haven't done shit. It's like the same way as like being like, yeah, I'm going to start a business. I'm worthy of charging $5,000. Why am I worthy? It's because I feel it. Bro, you haven't done anything. You're probably bad. Go charge, do for free or $97. And then once you know that you're good, then guess what? It's going to be a lot easier for you to charge $5,000 later because you already know you're good at it, right? Yeah. So that's just my mindset, bro. I'm not a big. My dad was a hypnotherapist as well, and he was always trying to hypnotize me as a kid. I'm like, this is some bullshit. Okay. Let me just go let me go take some action steps and do some shit. It's like the same thing as like, yeah, I'm going to learn about cold calls and visualize myself cold calling, and I'm going to kind of see how it looks in my head. I'm going to say this. They're going to say this. Yeah, dude. Or you could just shut the fuck up and go do 100 cold calls. You'll learn more. I promise you. So I have super strong opinions about that because I just see so much bullshit and like this visualization, I'm worthy stuff. Like, I'm sure it's going to make you feel better for a day or two, but if we look at who's farther ahead in a year, it's going to be the person who's taking relentless action over the person who's visualizing and chanting mantras in the mirror. Just my opinion. I'm sure it's controversial, but
do you think this is like a society problem of, kids are kind of coddled, everyone's told you're a winner, etc.?
Yeah, it's the dumbest shit in the world, man. And like, I don't want to get too political on it, but it's just like, dude, telling young kids that they're worthy and they deserve the world, XYZ. It's like, that's good. You should do that and give them confidence, but it's not an excuse not to go take action, not to let them fail. Right. Even the way that schools are set up, it's like you get punished for failing. In the entrepreneurship world, you have no choice but to fail. Nobody's ever succeeded without failing a million times first. So yeah, dude. Also, like you said with kids, like, I think we need to, it sounds bad, bro, but I think bullying is a great thing. I've been through school. I've never seen a kid, and I'm sure this is wrong, and I'm sure I'll get hate for this, but at least in my school, I never saw a kid get bullied that didn't fucking deserve it. Like, I got bullied, and then I look back at myself and I'm like, God, I was such a fat, annoying piece of shit. I was such a douchebag. Like, I'm so glad kids bullied me because I wouldn't have known, right? Yeah. If I got protected and teachers came to my aid and like all this stuff, I just would have grown up still being a piece of shit asshole, right? Yeah. So again, man, and bullying also just makes you tougher as a person. And if you've ever played like Call of Duty or anything like Modern Warfare or any like online lobby, bro, people are brutal in there, but it toughens you up. And that's what the real world is. So yeah, dude, I'm sure those are controversial, and I'm sure like some of that stuff won't work for everyone. I just, across the board, every successful person I've seen kind of has a similar mindset on all of those things. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And do you think, like, I think you said this before, right? Is like men going through this process, it kind of toughens you up and makes you more of a man, right?
Yeah. I hate to say being a man, because it's like, like what makes a really good man, I think is extremely controversial. I don't think it's about being a man. It's just about being proud of something that you built, and then self-confidence. Like the confidence that I go through in the world now, knowing that like I can afford a place like this and like take care of my family and take care of my girlfriend, whatever. And it's just the utter confidence because I've been hit in the face so many times. I've gone through so much bullshit that it's like you just walk through the world differently. My friend, he's a really good fighter. He does MMA and boxing and all this. He can fuck up like everyone. And like I've done boxing and stuff as well, but not to his level. The way that this guy walks through the world, he's just so confident. You can just like feel his energy. And it's the same thing when you built a business. It's the same thing if you're really, really good at fighting. You just walk through the world with confidence of like, whatever's thrown at you, you can handle it. And that just creates a totally different level, and you just level up as a person. And that's why I think entrepreneurship and fighting are the two most important things you can do as a man, hands down. And yeah, dude, it's you're just gonna have a better life if you're confident. And the last thing I'll say is, it's not about like, are you happy? It's, are you proud of yourself? Are you proud of what you've built? Right? Yeah. Are you proud of who you become and who you become in the process? I know that sounds very cliche, but I think men, instead of especially young men, instead of like, how do I find happiness? How do I make myself proud of myself? If that makes sense. I think that's the most important thing by far. Fuck happiness, be proud of yourself. Just my opinion.
So the competence breeds the confidence, which is what
1,000%.
people need, right?
1,000%.
Back to the question about kind of breaking the limiting beliefs. So like you said, you kind of had that moment initially. Have there been other moments on this 2-year journey where you've just been like, wow, this is possible, or like, this is the next level?
I just moved into this place yesterday, and this is the first time I've ever spent real money on a place before. And this is crazy to me, because I never would have believed I would have been able to just move across the country, rent a place, a huge house with a hot tub and a pool. And just like this right now, the last 24 hours has been because I used to, I really like looking at places on like Zillow and like nice places to stay. And I remember looking at like shit like this 2 years ago and be like, man, one day, man, I'm going to be able to rent a house like that. And now here we are. So this is like one of the dreams that I've had. But yeah, dude, every single day, limiting beliefs now around business, not as much, but around like fulfillment, a lot, right? Because now that we built the business, there's still a lot of things that like I'm not happy about with my own life. So being able to kind of like, I guess, kind of step back, and again, like, it's so hard because I don't believe that you should always be happy, but there's just so many different things that I want to do. Like, for instance, again, this year, it's all going to be about like health and fitness, right? Like my shoulders are super fucked up. My back's fucked up. And I'll tell you right now, dude, you could have all the wealth in the world, but if you're in pain and your health's not on point, like, dude, I would trade everything right now and go back to being broke if you could just tell me like, oh, I'll fix your shoulders and your back, and you'll be able to like go do stuff you want to do. So it's not all about money. Money, again, is a tool. And the fact that I have money now, I'm here at one of the best rehab facilities in the world, getting good work done. I'm staying in a nice place. But again, man, I forgot the original question, but yeah, money doesn't make you happy. It just gives you tools to solve problems. That's it.
Yeah, I think you answered it well. Kai, look, I think that brings us to the end of today's podcast. I've learned a ton, and I'm sure everyone that's kind of listening has too. Before we wrap up though, what's kind of next for you? Like what are the plans for the next kind of 12, 24 months?
Yeah, dude, plans for the next 12, 24 months. I mean, I'm going to take a step back from the business. I don't mean that like we're going to stop. I'm just going to like, I need to focus on health and fitness, dude. Like, I'm in a lot of physical pain, and like, I know I sound like a little bitch saying that, but it's like, dude, back's fucked up, shoulders are messed up. So I'm going to fix that. Still going to obviously do the business stuff. I just know if I can fix the physical pain and be more sharp, the business will just double or triple 100%. Cause I'll be able to focus better. And then probably grow the YouTube, man. I'm having a lot of fun doing podcasts like this with you and filming videos. So I'm going to get more into the content stuff. I'm having a good time doing it. And I love being able to reach and help like the previous version of me. So that's kind of what's next for us.
Okay. I'll put the YouTube in the description, but for people who are kind of listening and want to find out more, what do you kind of do and how can you help people?
Yeah, dude, I just document our processes on YouTube. You can just go on YouTube and type in Kai Stone. It'll pop up. It's just like, hey, there's no like sales bullshit. Again, regular stuff. It's just like, hey, here's what we do, bro. This helped us. Here's my sales calls. This is why I do this. It's just kind of the back end of how we run our business. So if you want to start something, man, there's going to be a lot of good information on there for you.
Nice. Well, Kai, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Aaron. Appreciate you, bro. Have a good one.